This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, so let's do a quick roundup of all the weekend's boxing. Some very good fights, good results. Obviously depends on who you wanted to win here, there and everywhere. And of course I did do fight reviews, which took a bloody long time. And to be honest, I think this way is probably a bit easier rather than do it fight by fight, to be fair. Of course, they're the main ones. Now, the ones that I did do, I put them on private, so don't worry, they haven't been blocked or anything like that. I put them on private because one video, which was the Hey Bellew one, Sky Sports don't like us using images no more, which is weird. Not video footage, not audio or anything like that, but literally a image. They don't like that. So maybe this is a new thing, but I'm asking them to have a look into that one anyway, so we'll have to wait and see. But everything's fine, not in trouble or anything like that. Just that I put the other ones on private just in case they wanted to take things further. That's all it was. So they're on private for now. Now, of course, I did cover all the fights, and let's start off with JOYCE. He defeats Bellew Thomas in 2 rounds to become the Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion. I said that was 2 rounds, body shot, dropped him. Bellew Thomas did come to fight. He started off quite well, but JOYCE just got on top of him at the end of round number 1. And to be honest, Bellew Thomas was pretty lucky to get out of the first round, to be fair. But he did, and JOYCE made him, punished him even, in round number 2 to become the Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion. Now, of course, maybe he could go up against the British champion, whoever that may be, which is being contested next weekend for Sam Sexton, who's the current British Heavyweight Champion, against Hughie Fury. And for me, I think if Hughie Fury was to win that one, which I fully expect him to be honest, then I can't really see a Commonwealth versus British heavyweight title between JOYCE and Hughie Fury, being that they're both sparring partners, regular sparring partners, so they've probably got a good friendship, so maybe they won't fight each other, but who knows, it'd be nice if they did, right? Also on this card we had Emmanuel Rodriguez. He becomes the IBF Bantamweight World Champion, which was a vacant title that Ryan Burnett vacated. Obviously Ryan Burnett, he had the WBA and the IBF, and boxing politics meant he had to choose one of them, because he had like 2 mandatories, if you like. So either way, he chose the WBA, vacated the IBF, and Emmanuel Rodriguez defeated Paul Butler by unanimous decision, and very clear unanimous decision. It didn't start off too well for Paul Butler, of course. The day before, when he missed weight, he had 2 hours to try and get that weight off, and he still missed it. So even if Paul Butler had won, he wouldn't have become the IBF champion. Very disappointing, of course. But again, added to his woes was a case of he got dropped twice in the first round. Both of them, you could probably argue, flash knockdowns, but even so, right from the get-go, he's on a hiding to nothing and he's playing catch-up. And of course, when you've got it in your mind, well, it doesn't matter what I do now, I may not win anyway, and of course, even if I did, I'm not going to become world champion. So maybe he was a bit down, but he did show heart and grit to survive the entire fight, to be fair, because Rodriguez is something special. He really, really is. Now, hopefully, we're going to get to see him take on Ryan Burnett or Zolani Tete at some point. And as I said, that'll be a very, very tough fight for anyone who gets in there with Emmanuel Rodriguez. Absolutely class fighter. Martin Joseph Ward, he lost. Well, he got stopped by Tennyson because, I don't know, it wasn't a bad fight, to be fair. I expected Martin Joseph Ward to win that one, to be fair, but ultimately that is what it is, especially after, you know, he dropped Tennyson earlier in the fight anyway, and then ultimately Tennyson come back. So congratulations to him, and he's the European champion, I believe. Also some other pretty good fights on this card as well. Cody Davis, he wins by a first round knockout, literally seconds remaining of the first round, and he's now 4 out of 4. He's part of the Haymaker team, of course, so congratulations to him. And yeah, the main event, Tony Bellew defies all the odds yet again and stops David Haye in round number 5. David Haye, for me, he won the opening 2 rounds, although he did look very, very nervous even doing the ring walk, and while the announcements were being made, he didn't look comfortable. I'm not saying he was injured, I'm saying he just didn't look confident, really. But the first round was a bit tentative between them. I just gave it to David Haye. If you gave it to Bellew or had it an even round, fair enough. Not that it really matters, I suppose, but round number 2 was a clear David Haye round. And David Haye was smiling, and you could see he was getting his confidence up. Round number 3 happens, he's doing okay, then he gets caught and gets dropped by Tony Bellew. And from that moment on, it was downhill, no doubt about it. A lot of people were saying that maybe his foot is hurting again, but for me, he was just on Bambi legs. His legs were shook, but he did well to survive the rest of round number 3. But of course, that gave confidence to Tony Bellew. But again, Bellew, he's like Nostradamus. He's predicting these things. He predicted that David Haye's body wouldn't hold out in the first fight, and of course, he would stop David Haye in the second fight by knockout, and that's exactly what happened. So round number 3, he survives. Round number 4, I thought Bellew was going to finish him off, but he didn't. He stayed calm, and he didn't rush it, because even then, David Haye's still dangerous. He's still got that big equalising right hand, right? So David Haye, again, he done well to survive that round, but of course, Bellew did take his foot off the gas. But round number 5 comes out, caps him with a big left hook. Down goes David Haye again, and the referee calls a halt to it. He did make it up, and he's saying, I'm okay, but clearly the referee thought otherwise, and it's right. There was no way that David Haye was going to carry on. David Haye's finished for now. That is for definite. He didn't say that he was going to retire, not at all, but I think he should. I mean, for me, if you can't beat Tony Bellew, and it's no disrespect to Tony Bellew, because he's much better than what a lot of people have been giving him credit for, no doubt about it. But if he can't do that, then what hope has he got of taking on Wilder or Joshua or any of the top guys? Really, what hope has he got? So, yeah, Tony Bellew wins by 5th round knockout. So big up, congratulations to Tony Bellew. He deserves all the credit and wealth for that one. And on the other side of the water, we had the middleweight unified champion, but of course he wasn't defending his IBF. That wasn't sanctioned, against Vanez Martirosyan, and Triple G knocks him out in round number 2, drops him, and that's all she wrote, really. So again, this was pretty much expected for Triple G to win this one. Of course, it's not his fault. It was Canelo's fault for popping dirty and whatever else. Of course, Canelo has had a hair sample done, and that come back clean, so I don't know. I really don't know. But either way, could he have chosen better opposition? Maybe, but of course that probably meant paying a lot of money with only 2 weeks notice left to go. So, but either way, Triple G gets the job done. I mean, to be honest, he done it quicker than I thought he would do. I thought he would make it look like it was a better fighter than what it really was, purely because people were saying, what, are you going to blast this guy out easy? And that's exactly what he done. So for me, I expected him to drag it out for at least 5 or 6 rounds and then maybe stop him, but ultimately, that's not what happened. So Triple G is still the unified champion. I don't know if he's going to be stripped of the IBF, though. I'm unsure what's going to happen. Is he going to take on Canelo in September? That's probably the favourite right now. Or maybe BJ Saunders a bit sooner, or whenever that may be. So hopefully, BJ Saunders, undisputed, right? And that is, of course, if they don't strip him of the IBF, which I wouldn't imagine they would. But you never know, of course. Also, a bit of a shocker, of course, on the Bellew Haye undercard. Of course, I forgot about that one. John Ryder knocks out Jamie Cox in 2 rounds. Didn't see that coming at all. I'm not saying that I didn't see the result coming. I'm saying that I didn't see it happening that quick, is what I meant. It was a shot to the temple, or the front temple on Jamie Cox, and it like a bit of a delayed reaction. He kind of like went down, face down almost, and then he sat up on one knee. He's looking at the referee. The referee's giving clear counts, and he didn't start moving off his knee until the referee was just about to say 10, and then of course protested. Don't work that way, Jamie. You should know better than that, bruv. But anyway, that is what it is. So it was a pretty good weekend of boxing, no doubt about it. I was impressed with a lot of fighters out there. I really was. Next weekend, of course, is going to be some pretty decent fights. Is it next weekend? Is it Linares and Lomachenko, right? There's that one. Sam Sexton against Hughie Fury. That'll be a interesting fight, but I would probably favour Hughie Fury, to be fair. And hopefully we're going to get some news on some other fights coming up. Obviously Eddie Hearn next week is over in New York to deliver some world-breaking, shocking news. We can all speculate and guess as to what that's going to be. But yeah, so interesting fight night. As I said, so David Haye's guys and Joe Joyce and Cody Davis, they both won. And from the Matchroom side, was it only Tony Bellew that won? I'm not too sure if John Ryder is part of the Matchroom stable. I know Jamie Cox is, but I'm not sure about John Ryder. I think he might be, actually. But it was a pretty good event. As I said, everything went pretty much as expected, I suppose, with Joe Joyce winning and a few others like that. Emmanuel Rodriguez winning, but not quite as easy or as wide as what he'd done. Tony Bellew winning, of course, but again, he did it much more emphatically than maybe we all thought he would. And of course, Triple G winning, easy work. So yeah, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.